Alright, we're going to have n x bar y bar s of xx, sum of squares of x, s of xy, sum of squares of xy. Cell for beta hat 1, I'm just going to call beta 1. Cell for beta hat 0, I'm going to call beta 0. Alright, n, you can either type the number 5 or do a count. Okay. X bar, two ways of course of doing this, sum of x divided by n, or you go with the average of the x's. Y bar is the sum of y divided by the number of observations, in this case 5, or average of the y's. I'm going to have need for a cell for n, x bar, y bar, sum of squares of x, s of xx, sum of squares of xy is xy, and then beta hat 1, I'll just type beta 1 to make it easy, beta hat 0, right, the intercept, I'll call it beta 0 to make it easy. And you can either type the 5 or to make it generic, count the number of x's. Okay, x bar two ways, either sum of x, sigma x divided by n, right, 0, or the average of the x's, enter, same thing. Similarly, y bar, sigma y, sum of y divided by n, 2.96, or average, alright, mark the y's, 2.96. I've put the formulas over there so we can see them. Alright, you don't have to attempt to do that. It's not necessary, you've got them written down somewhere. Alright, s of xx, sum of squares of x is equal to sum of x squared. Alright, sum of x squared is the sum of the x's squared minus n times x bar squared. I'll point to the x bar squared, shift 6 with a 2 behind it, 16. Sxy, sum of xy, sorry, the sum of squares of xy. That's sigma xy, which is the sum of xy, minus n times x bar times y bar, hit enter, get your value. Beta hat 1, the slope of the regression equation, is sxy divided by s of xx, so equals s of xy, sum of squares of xy, divided by s of xx, sum of squares of x. Get a slope in this regression of minus 1.025. As I've said before, each student has a different data set, so your numbers will be different than this. Beta hat 0 is the estimated intercept of the regression, equals y bar minus beta hat 1 times x bar, and I have an intercept for my data of a positive 2.96. Next, I want you to type in the regression equation. In general, I have it here as y hat is equal to beta hat 0 plus beta hat 1 times x. So just type it, don't have to get crazy with formatting. Y hat is equal to beta hat 0, type it 2.96 plus beta hat 1. Right, in the exam, a lot of students think that that's a minus there, but it's a plus. For this particular data set, though, the slope is negative, so it's minus 1.025 times x. Then you save the Excel file and you're ready to send it to me. All right. Always send it to yourself so that you have a record of when it was sent. All right. I don't accept late homework. Sometimes homeworks get lost. If you have a record, then you can show me that you've actually sent it. All right. Some people actually send it to the wrong email address. They think they have two S's at I have two S's at the end of my last name, for instance. Whatever, things happen. Keep a record, all these homeworks. Alright, and that's Excel homework number 1. Going back to the data page. Alright, the other 2 links are for your following homeworks. Okay, so these don't have to be touched right now. Okay, that's the end of this video.